Hey folks, welcome back to part 2 of my season finale spoiler to The Dragon and the Wolf. Let's get back to it, shall we? Where we live off is right after Jon Snow gives his great war speech. Euron pretends to be afraid and asks how many of these creatures are there. Jon Snow says hundreds and thousands of them. Euron says, well, can they swim? Jon responds no, and Euron says he's going back to the pike and leaves with his fleet. Cersei and Dany see the danger together, but Cersei says once the long night is over, she must still be queen, and offers Jon Snow, the Warden of the North. Jon then swears an oath to Dany in front of everyone. I can only serve but one queen, and that queen is Daenerys Targaryen. Cersei is pissed and leaves. She is unwilling to collaborate because she is unwilling to bend the knee to Dany. Bran then talks to Jaime and says he needs to come with the Lannister army to fight the White Walkers. Jaime compliments her loyalty to the Starks. She says, fuck loyalty, it's about survival. Jaime has seen all he needs to see and believes in the long night and will do all he can to help. Now that Tyrion, Dany, and Jon have seen Cersei's negative response, it seems they won't have the southern armies in support of the north. The Mountain then escorts Tyrion to the Red Keep. Tyrion and Cersei have a conversation and she blames him for everything the Lannisters have gone through, including the death of their mother and father. Tyrion says if he wanted to destroy his family, he would have let Daenerys come in and destroy King's Landing with Dragonfire, but he stopped her, proving he does not want to destroy his own family. Tyrion then tells her, if I'm so evil, why don't you order the Mountain to kill me? Cersei does not give that command. Tyrion decides to drink some wine, and Cersei does not join him. Tyrion says, if you're not drinking wine, you must be pregnant. Cersei does not respond. Her facial expressions give that away. Tyrion and Cersei head out to meet the rest of the people that were at the dragon pit. Cersei tells them, after speaking with Tyrion, she will send troops to the north to help against the White Walkers. Tyrion and Dany then talk about how Dany tells Jon that she cannot have children, and that the dragon are her children. Jon does not care that she cannot have kids. Back at Winterfell, Littlefinger is playing that master manipulator game, the game that he's played throughout the series very well, mind you. He tells Sansa that Arya is dangerous and has some evil plans, which is why she has come back. He tells her that Arya will use that letter against her somehow. Dany and company are back in Dragonstone after their meeting in King's Landing. They're in the war room where they're organizing their defenses of the north. Theon and Jon speak. Jon asks if he will come with them to the north. Theon says no because he has to rescue Yara first. Jon tells him he should and wishes him luck. Theon tries to rally the remaining Ironborn left in Dragonstone to come with him to rescue Yara. This is when a fight between the leader of those Ironborn and Theon takes place. They kick him in the balls a few times, but nothing happens to Theon. And we all know why. Theon seems to be losing, which is when he gets back into the fight, beats the leader, they form a rescue party and head out to save Yara. Sansa gathers all the Northern Lords and leaders and calls on Arya to come forward. Arya is worried as to what is happening. Sansa says it's time to judge the great treacheries and betrayals that have been done to the north, and we will judge the person responsible for them. She looks straight at Arya and then says, you need to tell me how many times you have betrayed the north. Arya is shocked and can't believe her sister is saying this to her. Sansa repeats and says, you need to tell me how many times you have betrayed the north, Lord Baelish. This is when Sansa starts to name his treacheries. You killed Eliza Arryn. Sansa then pulls out the cat's paw dagger and asks him if he recognized it. Littlefinger says it belongs to Tyrion, but Sansa knew it was his. Next to Sansa is Bran, who told her all these things. Bran then says, you told my father once, I told you not to trust me. Littlefinger is shocked when he hears this. Sansa then tells all the lords present how he sold her to the Boltons. Littlefinger realizes he's pretty much done, but he still tries to get out of it by telling lies and asking for help from Jon Royce and others. In the end, Sansa tells Littlefinger, Lord Baelish, thank you for your lessons. Sansa then nods at Arya, who slits Littlefinger's throat using the dagger that was intended to kill Bran way back in Season 1, Episode 2. Littlefinger starts to choke on his own blood, falls to the ground holding his throat, and dies. Back at King's Landing, Jaime and Cersei have a conversation about the upcoming war. Jaime is looking at the map of the north and is starting to gather the Lannister armies to get ready to head to the north when Cersei asks him what he's doing, to which Jaime says he's getting ready to go north with the army. Cersei says, nah, they got dragons and troops, they can handle it. She says she would be more than happy to see the White Walkers kill as many of her enemies as possible. She tells him that she has obtained an agreement with Euron. He pretended to be a coward, but instead he's going to Essos to hire the Golden Company on her behalf. The Golden Company is an army of mercenaries Cersei has brought when she got a new line of credit from the Iron Bank. Jaime is disgusted by Cersei and he continues to argue. The argument gets heated up and we see the Mountain draw his sword. In case things get ugly between Cersei and Jaime. Jaime is pissed and leaves Cersei. About damn time. We see Jaime leaving the city, but not in his Lannister uniform. On his way out, he stops to fix his golden hand. It's rumored he puts a black glove on it and looks back at the Red Keep, which is when we get the first snowflakes that begin to fall on King's Landing. Back at Winterfell, Bran is visited by Sam, who Bran recognizes. Bran asks what Sam is doing there, and Sam tells him he needs to speak with Jon Snow. Bran says he also needs to tell Jon a lot. Sam asks Bran what he needs to tell Jon. Bran says that Jon isn't Ned's bastard, but Lyanna and Rhaegar's son, and that he was born in Dorne, and that his name isn't Jon Snow, but Jon Sand. Sam tells Bran that he's not a Sand at all, and that he's seen it in the record, that Rhaegar had his marriage annulled with Elia, and that he married Lyanna, which shocks Bran. Sam tells Bran that if he can see into the future and the past, he should go see for himself. Bran then goes into the past and sees the wedding between Rhaegar and Lyanna into the forest. As he sees this, he realizes that Robert's rebellion was all based on a lie because Robert was pissed, and he said that Lyanna was kidnapped. While in the flashback is happening, we see a scene switch back and forth between Rhaegar and Lyanna and Jon and Dany on the boat. As a romantic scene between Rhaegar and Lyanna happens, we see Jon and Dany's romantic scene as well. Jon and Dany enter into a cabin together in which they begin to take each other's clothes off. Tyrion is the only one who notices they are having sex. As both sex intensifies, we see the scene where Lyanna is in the Tower of Joy, where she tells Ned that the baby's name is Aegon Targaryen. Bran then says that Aegon Targaryen is a legitimate heir to the Iron Throne. R plus L equals J. But now that we know, I think it should say R plus L equals A. So in the final scene, we see the events through the eyes of Bran, who wargs into a bunch of crows, and we are brought to Eastwatch by the Sea, where Tormund and Beric are. The army of the dead, with the blizzard following behind them like in episode 1, outside of the wall. Beric and Tormund are shocked as they see this, and when the Night King flies in on Viserion and the Night King attack the wall. They focus in on one part of the wall and melt it. The wall starts to break into a V shape. The gap in the wall is wide enough for the dead to go through, and the Night King flies through it, riding in on Viserion. Tormund and Beric run for safety. Well, folks, that's all I got. Sounds like it's gonna be one hell of an episode. Can't wait to see it on Sunday. But again, I haven't seen the episode myself, so keep in mind, with any spoiler that you haven't seen yourself, take it all with a grain of salt. Hey folks, if you like what you heard, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way, anytime I do upload something new, you don't miss my new content. Also, as a quick reminder, I do still have that San Diego Comic-Con swag giveaway that does include the Night King pop, the t-shirt, all kinds of swag. So make sure you get entered by subscribing. Make sure you share this channel. I do want to say thank you to all my subscribers. Much love to ya. Let's get this channel shared. Let's grow together. One love.